Let me hit that intro music. We are live at the Human Experience. Live at the Human Experience. All right, now that I got that out of the way, let's restart this. Well, now I'm waiting for some people to get into the room, and now we are... Oh, yes, thank you. Welcome to the Human Experience. I'm your host, Himyo, aka True Him, aka Dynamism, aka Altruism, aka Activism, aka It All Flows Through Him. And I would like to welcome you all to the Human Experience, CApassion with action. For all of you who may not understand what it is that you are witnessing at this particular moment in time, let me explain it to you. The Human Experience is where I ask someone 7 questions that will allow them to CApassionately express themselves so that you, the viewer, or the audience member, or the listener, is able to experience the CApassion that resides within. Now, you may notice that I am saying CApassion. And so what do I mean by when I say CApassion? Well, when I am talking about I am talking about the vital life force that exists in this universe. And when I am talking about passion, I am talking about a deep-seated feeling or emotion that wells up within inside someone. And so when you put those two together, specifically what I am talking about is the life force that allows someone to express the feelings and the emotions that reside within them. Yes, that is what we are up to here at the Human Experience. And so, my human experience today at this particular moment in time has been one that, I would say it's been a pretty great morning. Once again, I'm up at 4 o'clock. And why am I up at 4? Well, because I am studying the markets. But today I got up at 4 because I have some new responsibilities that have been thrusted upon me. And so I needed to brush up because my technical capabilities are not something that I am, it's not my go-to. I'm not a techie person. I don't do techie things, but the responsibility that is on my plate right now for some events that we have going on here at Soul Folks has to do with me being in some kind of technical realm. And so I needed to study up on that. And it was in this experience this morning that I was able to, I feel pretty good about the progression that I made and the things that I was able to accomplish. And, now I've had a GoPro for at least a couple of months now that I now am using as a webcam. I am going to need that later. Anyway, yeah. And so I had to rush to the store today. We have construction still going on in my crib. So I've been on the run since 4 a.m. On the run, eating, Nore. Anyway. And so I wanted to get here and make sure that I was set up because the guests that we have on, I wanted to be as prepared and before time as possible so that way we would have the most enhanced dialogue with my guest, right? And so because we had some nice preparation and some good times, I think we are about to have an awesome dialogue in this experience. And so I met our next guest. So I'm just meeting her, I would say, about since Thanksgiving of 2019, around that time. About around that time is when, maybe a little bit before Thanksgiving. Anyway, I met her because I represent Hueman timepieces out here in Los Angeles, and she is over the retail and branding brand manager here at Soul Folks, and so that's where I first met her. It was through getting Hueman timepieces into this lovely establishment, and it was through that time and up until now I would say that's about the most that we really talk to one another. Hi, bye, and if I need something to do in the store or add anything into the store, has been, I would say, the majority of our kind of conversations. Haven't had any real in-depth conversations to really be able to truly relate to one another. And so that's why I was so excited about her agreeing to hop on the human experience, because it will give me the opportunity to digest, download, and be able to better understand her in this between this experience. And the individual that I am talking about is Ferriss Mason. And Ferriss Mason is a community organizer, social entrepreneur, fashion and wardrobe stylist, creative director, event producer, and model. She's just like, I think on her page, she likes to say she is the Queen, Kwen, mother. She is the Queen Mother. And so Ferriss is from Oakland, California, and is an is an eclectic, colorful, and vibrant city that developed Ferriss into a resourceful community organizer. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome to the human experience, Miss Ferriss Mason. Ferriss. How you doing there, Ferriss?
I'm groovy.
You are
I'm
groovy?
groovy. Doing
Okay.
well.
I
Drinking my
am
water.
okay. You staying hydrated. Staying hydrated. That is what's up. Hydration is the key to life. You are drinking life into existence. So Ferris, something that we love to do here in the human experience is we like to give people their flowers while they are alive. And so if you are not used to people clapping for you, well, we're going to do that here on the human experience. So this is for you. Yes. Not only do we like to clap one time, but no, you deserve more. So here, let me give you another. Yes.
Even though I can't
And
hear you.
matter of fact, one time is okay, two times is cool, but we like to do things in threes around here. So you get one more, Ferris. Let that get into your pores, let that get into your DNA and help that like really recalibrate the DNA so that way you are always clapping for yourself if nobody is doing it for you. All
Word.
right. So with that being said, Ferris, now you come from Oakland. You are a multi hyphenated being. What would you say has been the impetus to you choosing to take on all of these roles?
Um, Most of it's just innate. It's just things that I have capabilities to do, and then I do them pretty much. A lot of, and like me becoming an entrepreneur and all that, I don't see any other way for my life to go. And all the things that I'm doing, have done, continue to do, will do, are all a part of my divine assignment. And I am working in my divine assignment and in my purpose, which is of service to myself and to the community, which is the community I'm a part of. And so I've spent so much time doing hella shit for other people and boosting other people's things and not being my full self.
Mm-hmm.
So I no longer accept anything that is not in alignment with my divine purpose and my divine assignment. So all the things that I do are in alignment with that, and so that's why I do them.
Mm. So then, when I hear you talking about divine purpose and divine assignment, right?
Mhm.
So, oh, my background ain't the way that I want it to be. Anyway, so when I hear you talking about divine purpose and the divine assignment, um, how did you come into a knowingness of that, like that purpose and that assignment?
Well,
Was it like one
I
experience? Were there multiple experiences?
I mean, who Ferris is in like base level. I've always been the same, very intuitive, creative, kind, resourceful. all the blah, blah, blah things. That's always been me. I haven't always put myself first though. So that, kind of, not kind of, definitely made things not be as vibrant and abundant as they could have been. I also, my spiritual practice, I practice Ifa. And in Ifa and the dafas that I have got, which is divination, we usually get a dafa, you should get one, usually at least one a year, and it's a divination by our awo, or our priest of my ile. And in my divination, things that involve community, things that involve being of service, things that involve me celebrating myself are all part of what my life path is. And outside of being told that, the things that how I've been growing and pushing myself to grow spiritually, metaphysically, all the ways, they have been in alignment. So I'll get a dafa, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is telling me my whole life. How my whole life by just doing this, this divination practice. And it has really helped me to align with my own spirit, to align with the Orishas and Olodumare, and alignment with my community, and like I said, my divine purpose and my impetus and movement for who I am and who I'm growing into being.
That's awesome. That's amazing. You're actually my second guest who is practices within the Ifa tradition, and so that's what's up. I hear that, I feel that, and that's where it is. So then, with that, I find that to be a great transition into this first question that I have for you, Ferriss. And that first question is, what do you trust more, your heart or your brain?
What do I what?
What do you trust more, your heart or your brain? Okay.
Well, I'll say heart only as it ties to my intuition. My intuition tends to be on point. I falter when I don't listen. So I have, it's like that when people say you have that gut feeling, or that feeling in your heart or your gut, like something isn't right or something is great, or whatever it is. So if you think of things logically all the time, I mean, it does help. It does help, because you got to have logic in order to move forward in life. And one of my people that I love fondness, even though it's a fake ass person, but Mr. Spock, the Vulcans and all the logic, I'm all about that. But without like me using my intuition, some of those things wouldn't even, or just using logic all the time, I don't think it would bode very well. And the times that I've not listened to my intuition, or I keep questioning something, even though I feel like I don't want to do it, or the feeling of it is not there, and I'm like, well, maybe I should. I just need to listen. So I listen to that more than I listen to like brain and logic first. But also that depends on the circumstances as well.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's like you have grown into the trusting of the heart brain, the heart intuition connection, right? So I have come to study and learn a little bit about that, and how, sometimes the first, I feel like the first communication that we have is through with the ether and the ethos and the universe, and how the energies. I feel like the heart is the first filter, right? And it awakens that intuitive expression or experience to go in your body, to be like, oh wait, something's up. I'm feeling something's here, something's communicating. I may not be able to put my full hand on it or whatever to really gauge it, but I know something is going on with this situation or whatever is transpiring at the moment. I know I'm receiving some kind of message, right? So it comes in, I think that, and to me it even makes the most sense because the heart is at the center of our the center. It's almost like the sun, right? It's the center of our universe, right? So being that is the filter that then deciphers and sends all the readings and transmits everything to everywhere else. Like our heart, we get more communications to our heart than we do to our brain, because the heart filters what then gets sent up to the brain, right? And so it's through those feelings, if I'm hearing you correctly, it is through your trusting and learning to sit in that and move with that and communicate with that in a manner. It has allowed you to traverse your current situations more effectively, because you've learned to trust that, right? And then that allows for the brain to figure out the direction to allow the trusting feelings that you have of that situation to figure out how to what's the proper word, I would say, how to get done or manifest that thing what you are feeling. What do you have to say?
I can accept that.
Oh, okay.
I can accept that. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I love the acceptance. Yeah. I crave acceptance so much. All right. So with that, now that leads me to my next question that we have for you, Ferriss. And that question is it better to have beauty or be beautiful?
To have beauty or be beautiful?
Yes, ma'am.
To have beauty or be beautiful. I mean, I don't really think either one of them are that important. In the end of all, be all of all things, beauty is fading and fleeting, and often behind some beauty is a whole bunch of bullshit, whether it be contrived and made up or just a rotten ass person. But I think, like, if you want to speak of beauty as in beautiful personalities or beautiful like consciousness or any other beauty that's not based on physical things, I think those are way more important than physical beauty, in my opinion. I mean, other people may feel the same way or feel not, but beauty is just a thing. I don't know. People use it and manipulate people with it, unfortunately, which is also a reason why being like physical beauty isn't as important, or that is not as that important in the end. That's my answer on the beauty.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you're completely throwing the construct of beauty out of the window. And I would say that this question is more based well, actually, and then also hearing you, and like listening to you, it sounds like you're talking about the being part of something, right? Because the physical makeup of an individual is something very different than what it is that they are able to exude on the inside of them that actually connects with others, right? And it feels like what you were saying and what you were speaking towards was more so the construct of the physical beauty being thrown out of here, because that's not real, and it's very subjective, as opposed to the idea of being beautiful that has to do with what people are receiving from an individual when you're talking about being beautiful in your actions, being beautiful in your in the way that you relate to people, and how you and how people see, feel, and what they leave with after being in your presence, right? Like that's the being beautiful part of it, right? The action word of it. So now that you hear the root of what this question is about, right? It's about either having something or being something. And so, what are your thoughts about having and being, or elaborate, I should say, a little further on your thoughts about having and being? beauty?
I mean, how do you have beauty? That's I don't really understand what that question means, but uh,
You have beauty by that could be your outer features. You know, you have beauty because you have nice full lips. You have a great cheek line. You have, you know, nice hair. Things of that nature,
just
right?
the
Those are things that you have.
external outside body appearance and all that things.
That's a having of something. Yes.
Yes, having a beauty or being beautiful. I mean, I think either both of them can be, I guess, important depending on the situation or what you're using it for. You know, there could be a beautiful person who has beauty, and then, you know, they could use their beauty in order to engage people and to get in more engagement for a cause or something, because people will be like, oh, they're so pretty. What are they talking about? Which is a very, you know, base level and ridiculous, but, you know, people tend to pay more attention to people they deem beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a good thing, but then in the same instance, that person's beauty could be being used for harm in some way, or bringing or not bringing attention to other types of things that people have to deal with, because people are bypassing it, but like, oh, this person's so pretty, and that's all they see. They don't see what they're trying to evoke or bring up or help people with. So it can be a good way, a good thing and a hindrance. I think having beauty,
Mm-hmm.
um, being beautiful, um, like, yeah, I mean, much is the same with what I've already said, but like being beautiful, I think just has so much more to do with who you are as a person and the type of like what was much of what you stated as well, the type of you know, what people say about you too speaks a lot of how beautiful you are as a person. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what people say about you behind your back, or what people said to you, say, you know, like, you know, say for instance, for me, like, I've been told that people like, oh, people always like, oh, I heard about you, Ferriss, and I heard about you, and this, that, and the other. You're exactly how everybody says you are. And I'm like, for sure. Like, I'm like, I am the same person to everybody. You're not gonna, you know, hear somebody say something, you know, crazy, ridiculous about me, or super nice about me either way, and you come and meet me, and it's not neither of those things. They're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, she's straightforward, she speaks her mind, she's kind, and, you know, whatever other things people say. But it's always um that is a part of, like, I feel like that's a part of my beauty in that aspect, because that's a part of my being beautiful, having beauty, whatever. But like being able to be a person that is kind and considerate and compassionate, and, you know, looks past just certain things, as far just looks past like people in their presence and how they look, and looks past that. I think all those things add to being a beautiful person, as per se just, you know, going at face value of everything.
Gotcha. I hear that. All right. So we have learned thus far that you definitely align with falling into trusting your heart slash intuitive self. We've just learned about you know, about you being beautiful, and the consistency that with in which you are being beautiful. Now, Ferris, we would like to know,
Um,
when was the last time you cried?
oh shit, probably a couple days ago. I cry a lot. I like, most people don't see the Ferris that cries and don't think that I'm like a person like that, but I am a big ass, like, I'm empathic. I feel deeply about people and things and injustices and people being treated fairly, and I'm also very what's the fucking word? Why I can't, sentimental. So I'm a very sentimental person as well. So, like, being empathic, being intuitive, being sentimental, being sensitive, like, my ass be crying all the time. Like,
Mm.
And it could be just for anything. Last week probably was more so because it was like, moon time, so it's extra elevated. But it could just be, it could be anything for me, literally. It could be a moment or like me. Oftentimes I'm saying it's because I'll be thinking of my parents. Both my parents passed in the last 5 years.
Sorry to hear
And
that.
that's very hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And then like in general, like even watching movies, there's certain movies that I don't even really like, certain times when I know I'm like feeling real sentimental or sad, or like I know I'm gonna cry, like I can't even, like, it's corny, but like say if I watch a rom-com, right? Like I like them because they're, corny little love stories. But like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not in the right space, my ass is gonna be crying. So like I can't watch those. What I will do to combat me from having a teary moment is like, and it's gonna sound strange because a lot of Black think it's strange, but like I love horror movies. So if I want to chill out and be like cool, like sometimes I'll just watch horror movies because it doesn't reflect anything in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I can watch it because I love them and watch it and be like, oh, no emotions involved.
Because you're disassociated with it, in from that from an emotional standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, got you. That makes sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. So with that, so I just do want to touch back on that, right? So when you're, what I'm hearing from that is that you are, because you feel so deeply, and that's one of the gifts that has been bestowed upon you in this lifetime, right? Is that deep sense of empathy and appreciation, and attunement to energies. Would you say, how would you say that you have learned to not take on those energies from others as much? Like, where are you at in the process of not allowing that to adversely impact your way of being?
Um, I, Boundaries, literally boundaries. That has been something that I have been working on the past couple of years, and I've become much better at it than I ever have been. I you know, I tend to be a person that people will just come talk to about whatever, or just, they'll people lay a lot of stuff on me, and so there'd be times where like I have to answer the phone for someone, or I have to be of service or assistance to someone in a way that I know they're not going to be for me. So what I've done, and for myself in many different ways, is like I set boundaries and I say no a lot more. Um, and I also like make sure like any people that I engage with, like if I don't feel like the vibe is right or cool or reciprocal, if it needs to be, I'm cool. I'm not fucking with you. Like I'm very protective of my space and my feelings and the energies around me. Um, Even my home. A lot of people haven't come to my home. I don't just, there's some people just like let everybody come over. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
do
one of
that.
those people.
Like if you come to my house, like I probably even have some close friends that, actually the other day, Manny, Manny is one of my close friends. And he came over, and it was probably the first time. I've lived in LA and known him for like 9 years. It's probably the first time he's ever been in my house. But it's not because
Mm.
I don't fuck with him, but it's just like I'm very like, people like to have housewarmings and do this and have people at their house, which is great, but it's like that's a lot of people, and then I'm a little OCD and anxiety, so I would be like, oh, what are you touching, or like, oh, clean this. It's just a lot. So people in my space, and I really value now more than ever my peace, my not involving myself in other people's dramas
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, because it's easy to get drawn into other people's things. And I've kind of always been that type of person that stays in my own space. People think I'm quiet, and I am for some parts of it, but I'm also, that's a part of like just how I vibe, I get down. Like I like to observe things. I peep. I'm like, I call myself Queen Peep Game because I see everything,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not people are saying it or seeing it, or even when I'm not around. For some reason, I still know the answers to certain. I don't know what that is, but that's just how it is. So, yeah.
All right. I think I got a new nickname for you, PG. All right. Queen PG. All right, cool. So we've just learned that through the practices of boundary settings and getting to know yourself on a deeper level, the setting of these boundaries and being protective of your space has very much a lot to do with your self care. All right, cool. So now we just found out what made you cry. Now, we would like to know what are 3 words or phrases to know in all languages? 3 words
Hello,
or phrases to know in all languages.
hello.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I appreciate you,
Mm-hmm.
and um, hmm,
Hello,
I don't
I
know.
appreciate you. And
I mean, I mean something that doesn't need words, but giving people like genuine embraces, like hugs. I think those are important things. You don't need language for that, but I mean, there might be something that people might get misconstrued, but I think that's an important thing. A lot of
so
people don't like the hug.
I hear you. I hear you. So then would that phrase be may I hug you? Or would you like a hug?
Sure, that's yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
because oftentimes if you ask someone, I mean, I usually don't have to ask people. Maybe now we do because COVID. If you don't know people, you're like, is it okay? But
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing because sometimes if you ask someone like, do you need a hug? Like somebody might be like, fuck yeah, I need a hug. And like hugs are healing. I
Mm.
rock with hugs heavy. So
All right.
hugs
See,
are
I would have never known that. Um, okay. All right. So, hello. I appreciate you. Do you need a hug? Or may I give
healing.
you a hug? Or can I have a hug? But something that has to do with an embrace. May we embrace
Yeah.
in this moment.
Mhm.
All right.
It's
Cool. That works.
Like
That works.
people don't value hugs a lot, or people. I mean, I know a lot of people have things about not wanting to be touched or be around, but humans like we like to be touched and we like to see and we like to feel. So those are just good things.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, so now we know that we have learned thus far that you are in tuned with your heart. You are a individual who um, sees beautiful as a way of being. We've also learned that you have learned to protect yourself because you take on extra energies, and so you cry often. And now, 3 words that you would love to know is hello, I appreciate you, and would you like to be embraced? All right. Now, that leads me to want to know, Ferris, what is it that scares you?
Um,
Because we know it's not horror movies.
it's totally not. um, I think what scares me is not being able to really learn and connect with my heritage and like my family that I know and don't know. Like never being able to get a deeper bond. That's very scary to me because family is super important, and family is legacy, family is life, and I have a lot of family, but I don't know most of them. I don't know like 95% of my family. Um,
Hmm,
so try
interesting.
to work on it, but it's kind of a daunting, overwhelming task a little bit,
Hmm,
especially with so many of my elders being gone. All my grandparents are gone, my parents are gone. Um, so there's not really a lot of elders that I know closely that can help me in my quest for knowing more about my heritage and who my people are.
hmm.
It's yeah, so I think that that's scary to like to if things, who knows, like if things ended tomorrow and I didn't know all the rest of my family or I wasn't able to make connection, I'd be really sad.
I hear you. Well, and so with that with so much of unknown about like familial relations or extended family, right? Is it safe to say that you don't know a lot of your extended family as opposed to like cousins and aunts and things of that nature?
I don't
Or
know. I don't know a lot of my cousins either. Like second, I only have one first cousin, so I know her.
mm-hmm.
But like everything outside of like outside of like my aunt and uncle and my cousin, I don't really know. And then like my siblings, but I have a lot of different siblings and they have, it's a whole bunch of stories behind that. But yeah, I don't really know people enough. Like I probably know you and I don't know you that well, know you better than I know some people in my family.
mm,
Like a lot of people actually.
mm. Okay. That all right. That's a very telltale sign. All right, that helps a lot. I can see how that would, or I should say, is this a fear? This makes me think about it. Is this a scare or a fear that you have like constantly grown up with, or did it take on even a deeper context once once you lost both parents?
No, I mean I've always been like the one of the siblings more so. Oh yeah, one of the main ones. It's always wanted to know more about family, wanted to be more closer to people or closer to nieces or nephews or closer to just or my older siblings. I've always been that person, but it's very hard
Mm-hmm.
when it's not reciprocated.
Got
Um, the way that you want, even with the siblings that I grew up with, same mom and same dad, that it's a very unfortunate situation sometimes.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So
you.
and I usually end up having friends or even when guys I date, like people that are very family oriented. That's a very important thing to me, despite the fact that I'm not super close to my family. Family connections and people being tight with their families is super fresh to me and something that I want.
Got you. All right. Cool. Understand that one now. Now, with that, we went from what scares you to what is it that makes you happy?
Oh, let's see. Well,
Oh,
um,
well. Mm-hmm.
going to the beach. I love the beach. It don't matter really what beach it is. People be hating on Venice a lot, but like I still go to Venice. It's still a beach. It's still nice. I mean, it's not really that clean, but it's still a beach. It's still nature. I love the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Coloring. I like to color. I color a lot, just in a coloring book with markers. That makes me happy.
So you got a lot of
Shop.
adult coloring books?
Yeah, I mean, I like to color. I don't like to color like people or animals or flowers. I like to color like geometric things and mandalas and things like that and stuff that's real intricate.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it to be very symmetrical and I have tons of them that I've colored. I have some of them on my wall actually. Um, so I love coloring. I love shopping. It makes me very happy.
You don't say.
Um, um, I mean, spending time with my friends makes me happy. Like my friends, spending time with my friends makes me happy. Cooking makes me happy. I like to cook. Eating healthy food makes me happy.
Mm.
Um, Doing nothing makes me happy. um, and I mean, yeah, just the sun makes me happy. I love the sun. I love the sun.
You love to get powered up, huh?
I love it. Right now I'm kind of pale, so I'm just waiting for it to warm up so I can get some tan.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you that's it sounds as though that there are a plethora of things that that makes you happy, and that you are fortunate enough to have the be in an environment where you can be around a lot of that makes you happy, right? Because I'm hearing a lot that has to do with nature. I'm hearing a lot that has to do with being able to interact with people, and being in unique places, being able to have nutritious, wholesome food to be able to prepare, and things of that nature. And shopping, which I guess, obviously, there's a lot of shopping to be done around Los Angeles, huh?
Around anywhere. I don't need, and I can shop. I can shop anywhere and anything. I'm an avid thrifter. I love thrift stores since I was little. I'm an avid eBayer. I'm an avid everything where you can shop.
No, all right, you're there for it. Okay, I could dig that. So now, Ferris, we have come to pregunto número siete. That fast. And the question that is on the floor now is, Ferris Mason, what is your purpose?
Oh, my purpose is to be of service to my community, and that also entails being of service to myself because I am a part of my community. We are one and the same. So, doing everything that I would do for myself, I do my best and try my best. Not, I don't try. Do my best to make sure that I'm providing that what I would provide for myself to those that are a part of my community. That's what I'm supposed to do, and I believe that's what I'm doing.
Okay, I would have to say that through this experience, what I've been able to uncover is that, yes, my experience and my knowing of you prior to you stating that has been me witnessing you living in your purpose, and providing the opportunity for the community to be able to thrive, right? And so it's very apropos that you would have a piece that says abundance over everything, right? I think that is a statement that perfectly, I don't even like the word, that dynamically encapsulates the statement of your purpose, right? To the greater community, as well as to yourself. And um, it has been very interesting, in a way that is that provides a sense of learning for me to watch you live in your purpose, or be a voyeur of you living in purpose, right? Because, and the way that it's been able to be expanded, right? Because we haven't even talked about Comeup LA yet, but it seems like that started to provide, or if I'm, without you particularly telling me about it as of yet, it seems as though like the emanation of Comeup LA was you falling in absolute alignment with your divine purpose, right? And the manifestation and the growth that has been able to have, with you as a person and as an individual, and as an entity, as an entrepreneur, and all those multi-hyphenated isness, or whatever, if that's even the words. But it seems like that's where that started to really take form. And then to add on the growth and the expansion of carrying on your own business, and then aligning yourself with what is taking place here at Soul Folks, has just, enhanced and stretched you in a even more purposeful way, in you living out your divine manifestations of purpose in real time, right? It's enabled you to be as expansive as the universe is, right? As you live into this, and continue to grow into being the ultimate healer, seeker, and comforter, that queen warrior. What was that? GP? No, not GP. What was it? Oh, damn! I just forgot the name.
Uh,
Oh,
PG,
no.
PG. It was PG,
Oh
right?
yeah, PG. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Queen PG. As you came into being Queen PG, that's what's up. So that is what I've been able to um, extract from this particular human experience. Very much so, you being your purpose, not trying, but being. Very big distinction there. And so, with that being said, thank you, because through you living your purpose, it has allowed a door to be unlocked for me to be living mine, right? Because had you been a hater, um, I wouldn't be in the store, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to come in here and be able to see and be a part of steering this ship in the direction that I can. I'm looking at this like Noah's Ark, right. Being here in Soul Folks, and what it is that we're up to, and how we're helping and providing the community with this opportunity is almost like being on Noah's Ark, right, in real time, and it being that way for people that look like us, you know, to create an environment for us to get aboard this ship, for everyone to sail in the directions of the manifestation of their dreams. And so, with that being said, Ferriss, the floor is yours for the next minute and a half. Please let the people know what you got going on, where you have it going on at, and how they may get on and get along with you.
Word. So what do I have going on? I mean, I know, but I don't know. That's always like how I am. Like, I know what I'm doing, but do I really know? Uh, um, well, currently, obviously, I have Comeup LA or Comeup Markets, whichever one people know. Most people know about Comeup LA. Comeup LA, haven't been having any events in quite some time because of our lovely sister friend Corona, Nisha. She's just been here kicking it and not allowing the events to really happen in the way they want to. And soon I hope to be having a new space in order to do those lovely events and having more budget and sponsorships and all that. I'm currently working on a virtual aspect for Comeup LA, an app. It's in development right now, and I'm really excited about that. It is my first time taking a risk of this sort and spending money that I have not spent before, the amount, but I'm really excited about it. There's also other things coming up with Comeup LA soon with other businesses in LA once things are more open. I think right now we all kind of like in this kind of false insecurity of open. But that's what that is. And I am soon going to be starting a clothing line, which is what I call myself, which is Queen Warrior, and that's what it's going to be called. So that will soon be coming to fruition. And outside of that, all the other things that I'm doing, you can keep up with me on Instagram. I like to post the food that I cook sometimes, fruits and popcorns and supplements, and encouraging people to actually take their health seriously. And health is not just working out. You got to eat right. So I think that's something that I love to share with people, especially in the world that we live in now, where there's sugar in everything. No matter if you don't think there needs to be sugar in it, like fruit, people add sugar to fruit all the time. So, yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Ferriss Mason. It's FERRISSMASON. Never forget that second S, because without the second S, it is not my name.
Ain't that the motherfucking truth? You better not forget that last S.
Because I let everyone know.
I've learned the hard way.
I have been an advocate of that forever, and I'm an advocate for everybody that has a name, even though my name's not even a difficult name, but people make it more difficult than it is. But I've always been a person advocate for anyone that has a name, whatever the name is, make people say it, make them spell it correctly, and make them pronounce it correctly. Don't change it to appease people in their idiocy. So
okay,
that was just my little spiel on that. I'm really, like, when I used to work at an engineering firm, and we had some people that are Chinese and different races, and they'd be like, "Oh, my name is this," and I'd be like, "No. What's your actual name?" They're like, "Oh, it's this, but I just say this so that people can say it." I was like, "Make people say your name. Make people say your name. It's important. Your name is a part of your honor to your ancestors, because your name comes from your family. So it's important for people to pronounce your name and for you to make people pronounce your names appropriately in a way to honor your ancestors." So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wish I knew you when I was younger. I'll just say sick 'em, Ferriss. Well, I would like to say once again, thank you for taking time out of your oh so busy schedule to join us here on the Human Experience. It has been an uplifting and enlightening, I should say. It's been lightning, because you definitely are a bolt of lightning. And thank you for taking time out of your day today to join us here on the Human Experience. It has been greatly appreciated. Word. And so I would also like to thank you and you and you and you and the other you and all of you that have taken time out today to join us here on the Human Experience. I'm your host, Himyo, aka True Him, aka Dynamism, aka Altruism, aka Activism, aka It All Flows Through Him. I would love to give a shout out to our sponsors, Hueman Timepieces. Hueman Timepieces, they are the watch with the message. Make sure you check them out at HuemanTimepieces.com and let them know that Himyo sent you over at the Human Experience. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, I want to give a shout out to Beard Zion. Beard Zion, thank you all for providing me with that heaven on earth feeling through your awesome beard care products. Make sure you check them out at Beard Zion. That's Beard ZION.com. And let them know that Himyo over at the Human Experience sent you there too. And use that promo code at HECA21. I also would love to give a shout out to BOURNGR and the number 8 for the intro and outro music from here at the Human Experience. It is oh so appreciated, oh so welcome. Thank you once again for joining us. I would just like to say, be peaceful, be happy, be productive, and be you because you matter. See you on the next Human Experiences, bitches.